we've talked about perimeter. Perimeter was distance around the figure. Okay? Then we've been talking about area. What is area measurement?
The number of squares inside the figure.
I don't like the word inside. I like most of it. Can you change it instead of the word inside? What word did I use?
Squares
that cover the figure. We're covering the figure up with squares. That is our area measurement. You're covering something with squares. Now we did area of rectangles. And they gave us a nice shortcut formula. Length times width. We also did parallelograms. Parallelograms don't have length and width, but they have base and height. So base times height. Then yesterday we did triangles. And we found out triangles are
base times height divided by
half of a
parallelogram.
Half of a parallelogram or half of a rectangle. So our formula then must be half of that formula, right? So base times height divided by 2. That leads us to a new figure today, trapezoids. Now we need a definition for trapezoid.
Quadrilateral.
All right, but I'm going to write this. That's a good fancy word. I like that, but I'm going to call it what the definition of quadrilateral is. Four-sided figure that has. Now, what characteristic does a trapezoid have, Cody, that we haven't talked about from others?
It's half of a hexagon.
No, well, okay, but that's too confusing for this ding-dong head of mine, okay? So let's try to say what?
It has 2 parallel sides and 2 unparalleled sides.
Okay, but I want to clean that up just a little bit more, so let's put it down like this. I mean, you're right, and he's right, but let's put it simple. A four-sided figure that has only one set of parallel sides. Now, if you go off into West Texas or anywhere from Bridgeport west into New Mexico and Arizona, you'll be driving along in that flatland, and off in the distance, you'll see a hill that looks like that. And the horizon goes like that underneath it. Well, guess what that is? A trapezoid. The top of it and the ground horizon are parallel to each other. And the only parallel sides are those right there. Okay? Now, that's a nice, neat plateau is what we call them, right? Plates, you know, Spanish for plate, plateau. Really nice looking thing. But we get stuck into thinking that's the only way it can look like. Oh, no. Oh, no. Sometimes you can have one that has a straight up and down cliff on it. You still have one pair of parallel sides, though, right? The other side don't. Also, we try to jack with you sometimes. And we stand the thing up. And I got students say, that's not a trapezoid. Oh, yes, it is.
It's the same thing as
it still has one set of parallel sides. Instead of laying down, though, we stood them up. It's still a trapezoid. So don't let them fool you by just turning it. If you don't like the way it looks on your paper, do what to your paper? Turn your paper, then it's laying down. Okay? Pretty simple. Now there's a couple things we need to star. First star, the parallel sides are, don't try to guess, are called bases. The parallel sides are called the bases. In a triangle, we only had one. base, didn't we? Well, here, since we've got two parallel sides, we're going to call them bases. The height of our trapezoid will be the straight, y'all, I don't know, mathematicians don't like this, the straight up and down sometimes it's what we had the other day, what?
Dotted.
The dotted line. That makes a right angle to the bases. Remember yesterday when we did one and we put the right angle box on it, what did it look like?
H.
An H. That helps us remember, oh, that must be the height. That must be the height. Now, what I'm going to do now is let's draw one and put these on there so we know where they are. Now, my drawings are not very good because this is not art class, but we're going to play for like that's a real trapezoid. All right, so here we go. The parallel sides are called bases. And what letter do we use?
B.
B and a B. I like that. B and a B. With me? All right, B and a B. The problem, though, y'all, those are the same letter, aren't they?
Yes, sir.
And in math, if you have the same letter, then we assume they're the same thing.
Oh.
But this one's shorter than that one. They're not the same thing. What do you think, Carl?
On the mathematics chart, it said base 1 and then base 2.
Oh. We got to denote, one of them we'll call base 1, and the other one we'll call base 2, because they're actually two different bases. If we just leave them plain old B, we are saying mathematically they're the same. They're not the same. So we have a base 1 and a base 2. And of course, just like in our parallelogram or in our triangle, when you have a straight up and down that forms a right angle, that will be your H. That will be your H. Straight up and down. Now, what if I drew one of the funky ones that has a cliff, a straight up and down cliff? What do you think, Cody?
That's still the height.
What is still the height?
The straight up and down cliff.
Oh, one of the sides of the trapezoid happens to be the height because it is the straight up and down. Right, Tyler? All right. And we still have base 1, base 2. Okay? Again. What if I stand it up like that?
Still.
All right. We better watch out now. Where's our bases? Where's our bases?
The parallel.
The parallels. The top?
And the bottom part.
The top and the bottom are parallel.
No.
I said, where are the bases?
On the side.
The sides. Base 1, base 2 on the sides this time. And the height is the top one because it's the one that forms a right angle with the bases. Everybody with me okay now? Now that's where the letters are. Now, thank goodness mathematicians came up with a formula that helped us work. Now I'm not going to show you where it came from or how it developed. You'll learn that later in number sense. I mean, not number sense, but number theory, etc., etc. But they came up with a formula. How much time we got?
1 minute.
Oh, we got a lot of time. A, meaning area, equals fraction bar. All right. parentheses.
B1.
Base 1 plus base 2. We have to put them together with addition. We have to add the two together. Times, close parentheses, times height.
Over 2.
And then divide by 2 or over 2. Now I'm circling that so when I look in my notes, that will jump out at me for area of trapezoid. Ooh, this must be what we use.
Is there still a shortcut? That's the shortcut.
Let's go. All right? Keep our eyes open, all right, baby? Keep our eyes open. So, this is what we're going to be using. Here's our first example. So, A equals, put a bar. Where's base 1? Ah, right there. So what number?
15.
Parentheses, 15. Plus, where's base 2?
Bottom.
Up, right here, base 2. What number? 20. Close our parentheses.
Times height.
Times.
8.
Where's our height? Right there, the up downy. 8. And our formula says divide by 2. Now, don't get ahead of me, Brad. Don't get ahead of me. Because right here, we have to remember something from a long time ago. Order of operations. Parentheses. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. And the P stands for parentheses. We got to do inside first. So what's 15 plus 20?
35.
35. So that takes care of the parentheses. Times 8. Divide by 2. Now, quit trying to work it before we have it all filled in, because we'll forget something. Now, 35 times 8. Go off to the side.
40.
40, carry my 4. 24 plus 4.
28.
28. So now I'm going to go sideways now. 280 divided by 2
140.
equals 140. Square centimeters. Now, Brother Tibbles, right here, after I do my parentheses, I can then try my SC, and that's not Santa Claus. That's shortcut. I've got an even number. What's half of 8, or 8 divided by 2? 4. Times 35 I still have. Guess what we're going to get? Our 140.
So we can use the shortcut.
You can use the shortcut as long as you have an even number after we've done the parenthesis work. Is everybody with me? What time are we?
13:30.
13:30. Let's get started on this one and shut it off at 45. 14:45. Come over here on that. I've thrown you a curveball twice on this one. Right here. Twice on this one. What have I done?
You turned it.
I've turned it,
And you added
and I got everything has numbers on it. I bet we don't use all of them. A equals what?
16
Oh, there's B and there's B, right? 16 plus 10.
times 4.
14 or 4?
4.
4 is the height. The 14 is not used. It's extra poop. Times 4, and our formula says divide by 2. Do I shortcut right now?
No.
Nope, not till after I do the parentheses. 16 plus 6, 10.
26.
26 times 4 divided by 2. Now we can shortcut. I'm going to shortcut the bigger number, right?
Yeah.
What's 26 divided by 2?
13.
13 times 4. 52.